Hey guys, this is Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back. Crystal Palace Master League, final episode of this first season. Now, going into this game, and there's only 2 games left in this, well, there's actually 3 games in this episode, but one of them is just a testimonial match for Adrian Mariappa's retirement. But the other 2 are the 2 major games which we need to win. So at the end of the last episode, we beat Manchester United. We're now 3 points clear of Chelsea and Man City. If we win both games, we've definitely won the title. If we lose one and draw one, we might actually go and not win the title. But if we lose both, we've lost it, and that is that. So this game against West Brom was quite big considering the last time we played them, we drew against them 1-1. And I went into this game knowing that I just had to go and win, and go all out and try and win as quickly as, score as many goals as quickly as possible and try and win the game. So the game kicked off and we were like trying our best to try and get forward as quickly as possible. Gnabry down his right hand side for West Brom picks up the ball, gives it into Lichtsteiner. Lichtsteiner gives it, tries to cross it in straight away to Ricky Lambert, and it doesn't come to anything. So from the 5th minute of the match, MacArthur picks up the ball, gives it to Johan Cabaye. Cabaye runs about for a bit. Eventually no one really sort of stops him until he does get stopped, and then Craig Gardner picks the ball. The game was so ridiculously fast paced from the beginning of the match. As Ricky Lambert on the ball here, eventually MacArthur and Bolson actually picks it up, gives it into Cabaye, and Cabaye's in some space in the middle, plays a through ball through to Castaños. Castaños takes one touch, pings it at the goal. Keeper makes a really good save, but comes out to Johan Cabaye, and he just pings it in the back of the net to give us a 1-0 lead in the first 10 minutes of the match, to just make sure that we were going to win the game and score goals extremely quickly and very early. So from kickoff, they try to get forward again. Castaños just steals the ball off Jakob, eventually does a nice little bit of skill just to get past him, runs past him, gets an opportunity, gets a strike away, and pings into the back of the net to make it 2-0 to us against West Brom. Scoring goals quickly and tap, 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 pop, pop, pop. Easy goals, let's go. So in the 62nd minute of the match, Zaha on the ball, runs past players, just continues running, runs past Jakob like he's not there, gets a strike away, really good save from the keeper, comes out to Balassi, and Balassi's there to ping it at the back of the net to make it 3-0 to us from the rebound. Scoring those goals, scoring the goals that we need. He decides to do the Michael Jackson dance in the middle of the whole goddamn pitch. And then Cabaye in the 88th minute of the match gets a strike away, another good save from the goalkeeper, goes up for a corner kick, and from the resulting corner kick, Cabaye hits it into the back post. It gets headed out to Bolson on the edge of the box. He chests it down and volleys it in the back of the net with his weaker foot to make it 4-0 to us, knowing that we could just improve that goal difference, which is already like 10 above the opposition, above our opponents in terms of Chelsea and Man City. But in the last minutes of the match here, James Morrison on the ball, plays the ball eventually through to Ricky Lambert. Lambert takes one touch, pings it past Jack Butland, and takes the clean sheet away from us, but we still have a goal difference of 3 between the 2 sides, so I wasn't really too bothered. I was a bit annoyed, but I wasn't really too bothered by it. So in the last minutes of the match, James MacArthur picks up the ball, runs past 2 or 3 players, or tries to run past 2 or 3 players. Doesn't come to anything, and we win the game against West Brom 4-1, and I was like, there is no way that we will not win the title. Like, I was like definitive that there was no way that we were going to lose this title. And as you can see from the match day 37, Chelsea drew with Watford, Man City beat Liverpool, but we were topped by 3 points. Now, we were relatively fortunate to be topped by 3 points, considering there were a lot of games this season that we have won 1-0 or 2-1, or like winning games, or 3-2 by a 1-goal margin, doing things that we should have probably done, which like a title winning team does get. But a lot of those games were really, really close. So with that being said, it's not unrealistic that like with us winning the title or anything, but it was a bit like, there's no way I'm winning the title next season. I'm just saying that now. So with that being said, we faced off against Tottenham. Tottenham, not a particularly difficult side usually to face, but considering it's the last day of the season, we knew that we just had to draw the game essentially. If we won the game, it'd be icing on the cake. But if we just drew the game, it would be that would be that. So with that being said, Tottenham's side, as expected, was terrible. We still need to change the colours for Tottenham because they're not yellow and blue, they're blue and white. But anyway, we faced against Tottenham. They have the likes of Min, and they have Christian Eriksen, stuff like that, as expected, Nacer Chadley, things and all that. And of course, this bit is like extended because it was the final game of the season and whatnot. So Tottenham side, Mauricio Pochettino as their captain, as their manager, Jan Vertonghen, for Federico Fazio, and Nabil Bentaleb, Ericsson, Dinkov, they had bought no one in January, so it was like, well, fair enough, let's go, and we'll try and get forward and just basically just win the game so we can make sure that we go out with a bang, considering that we already have more or less secured the title. There's no way we're going to get it taken off us. And as you can see from our team, like a lot of yellow cards because we just fouled people like hell. But we were playing our strongest team possible. We were not going to go into the game like, let's just play our weakest team because we can. No, we wanted to have our best team out there so we could just secure the win, essentially. We basically have confirmed the title. So I was happy about that, but I was like, I just want to make sure we go out with a bang. Go out, not unbeaten, but go out with a bang, essentially. So they kicked off as you'd expect, and as expected by Tottenham, they played the ball about for a bit, but eventually Kabay does pick it up, plays it into Castaños. Castaños takes one touch, gets the strike away, and it's a nice strike, doesn't really come anywhere near the actual goal. In the 5th minute of the match, essentially, I think there was a foul there, but for whatever reason, the ref plays on. Eventually, Dembele gets the opportunity, gives it into Son. Son does not get a strike away. It gets cleared by Romagnoli, comes out to Danny Rose on the left-hand side. Kabay steals the ball off him, and then it goes for a throw-in. From the resulting throw-in, they throw it in to Chadley down this left-hand side, and then basically they eventually just work it really nicely, eventually back out to that left-hand side. But Ericsson gets the opportunity and crosses it into Young Sung Min, and he pops in the back of the net to make it 1-0 to Tottenham. And I was like, okay, I said to have a much better start to the season, end of the season. So in the 45th minute of the match, Bolasie low crosses it in. Castaños pings it off the crossbar. Zaha picks it up, and then I decided just to go. I'll just go for a shot. Take a shot, and it's a ridiculous mistake, clanger by Hugo Lloris as he just lets it go through his fingers and into the back of the net. And we end up equalising just before half time, and I was like, okay, just keep going with this. 54th minute of the match, Dinkov on the ball, gets the opportunity, nearly gets the opportunity actually, essentially, to get a strike away. Comes out to Son again. Bolasie is there for some reason to defend. Zaha eventually picks it up on this right hand side, plays it through to Castaños, he just continues to run past Vertonghen. Eventually tries to do a shot feint inside, doesn't really come to anything, McCarthy can't do anything, and in the 78th minute of the match, Castaños on the ball, runs past Vertonghen again like he's not there, just runs for on goal, gets a strike away, and he pings it just wide of the post. And in the last minutes of the match, Zaha gets potentially fouled. Ericsson's like going all over the place. I come in flying for fouled by Kabay, but it doesn't matter because Kabay goes mental as the referee blows the final whistle, and we have won the game. We drew the game, but there I am. Me as a manager, I was at the first part of the season, and the last episode is when I appears again. It makes no sense as Crystal Palace are named Barclays Premier League winners. So some of you will be like, why up the difficulty, man? I'm playing on Superstar, mate. I could make it 5-minute halves, but 5-minute halves would just make the games even more boring. They're already 7 minutes. Some other people play on 10, 12-minute halves. I play on 7-minute halves to make the games a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more realistic. So with that, we have won the game. Won the season essentially, with us winning the league in the last game of the season. As you can see there, we sort of maybe deserved to win against Tottenham. We had 10 shots, 8 on target. Son Heung-min got the man of the match. Chelsea drew. Man City actually got beat by Manchester United, and we end up winning the title by 4 points against, not run a play of anything, but we just sort of maybe deserved it, considering if you look at that, we had 22 wins, 13 draws, and 3 losses. But as you see here in the Barclays Premier League, the individual titles: player of the season Johan Kabay, top scorer Daniel Sturridge, assist leader Dusan Tadic, and best manager award was me, Marcus. So we go on to the goal rankings. Daniel Sturridge scored 20 goals, Costa and Charlie scored 19, Giroud scored 17, Aguero 16. But up there, Castaños scored 13 goals in his debut season for Crystal Palace. Pretty decent, to be honest. Kabay scored 9, and Wilfried Zaha scored 8, which is it's alright. I mean, it's not really too good. But when you look at the assist ranking, Suarez had 7 assists, but you have to remember that he assisted like 4 of Jedinak's goals before he left. And the team of the tournament: Sturridge and Benteke up front, Wayne Rooney attack midfield, Johan Kabay right midfield, Hazard, Matic, like ridiculously good players. But that was the thing which really matters, is his standing. As you see there, Crystal Palace, Man City, Chelsea and Man United are the top 4. Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal are the 5th to 7th place. Southampton and Tottenham were 8th and 9th, Swansea were 10th, and the teams relegated were just ridiculous, as you'd expect, like some Bournemouth and whatnot. I mean, they're probably going to get relegated in real life as well. But as you see here, today marks the end of Adrian Mariappa's career, and blah blah blah. Testimonial match against the Old Boys. Now, the Old Boys were, as you can see here, the Old Boys are the people who are relegated, are retiring. So like the Buffon, Marquez, Alex, Lampard, Zahazi, Montolivo, Di Natale, Klose, Coit, Pepe, stuff like that. And basically I'm just going to show you the goals from those matches. They don't really, not really anything too special, but considering that we are scored against Gianluigi Buffon, that is pretty decent. So basically, as you just watch these goals, I'm just going to talk about what you just basically comment below if you want any changes for the second season of this. So I'm going to stay at Crystal Palace. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to try and win the Champions League and the league, and of course everything. Like if I win everything next season, I'm going to leave, go somewhere else. But if I don't win anything, then I'm going to stay at Crystal Palace, continue to improve the side overall before eventually doing it, and before like potentially winning the treble. If I win the treble, then you know that's that, and that's the aim and achievement of this series. So with that being said, do you want to become a legend as well? I could do Become a Legend. That could potentially be a little bit more interesting because I actually enjoy playing Become a Legend, and I was doing the review for this game. So I could potentially do Become a Legend. It would be something a bit different rather than just doing like the same sort of stuff over and over again. And Become a Legend, of course, makes it I can have like a really, really long series of that. So with that being said, just want you to comment below of what you like changes for season 2. And if you want to become a legend, essentially, my club may or may not come back. It sort of depends on if I can really be bored playing online after having such a good play offline. But with that being said, Testimonial finished 4-0 to us. As you see from the overall records, Castaños was our top goal scorer with 13 goals. Cabaye scored 9, Blassie scored 6, Zaha scored 8, MacArthur scored 5, Bolson scored 1, Bamford and Fisher scored 2 each, Guidetti scored 1. Wickham scored 3. I mean, a lot of players had a lot of their overall rank, their average rating was like 5.9 to 6. I think our highest one was like 6.4 or something. And like some players have to look at the team, maybe potentially change it, but refuse to transfer offer, remain the manager of the same club again. And moving on into the next season, we're eligible for the Champions League, we're eligible for the Community Shield, we're gonna be going well. As you see, Sunderland, Leicester and AFC Bournemouth got relegated, Hull, Burnley and Middlesbrough got promoted, and it's the opening day of the transfer window in the next season. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this season, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, put some comments in there about season 2, and of course if you want to become a legend or not, and catch you later.